Hi, families. I'm Miss Dennison. I'm our school counselor here at Quarterfield. And today I'm going to talk with you about something that all kids and adults deal with, which are big feelings. In this video, we're going to talk about what emotional regulation is, what it looks like for kids, and what we as adults can do to support them as they develop this skill. So, first of all, emotional regulation is the ability to understand, express, and manage our feelings in healthy ways. Kids are still learning these skills, and this is completely normal. Their brains are still developing, and sometimes their feelings come out a little bit quicker than their words can. You might see this show up as anger, frustration, shutting down, crying, or tantrums, sometimes even saying some things that they don't mean. None of this means something is wrong. It just means that they need some additional coaching. Um, Big feelings can look pretty different from child to child, but some common symptoms of dysregulation might include difficulty calming down after encountering a problem, going from 0 to 100 when faced with an issue, trouble using words during conflict, sometimes arguing or refusing when they're overwhelmed. We all know sometimes when our kiddos come home from school, they can just shut down immediately because they've had a really long day. These behaviors are typically a child's way of communicating, I am overwhelmed and I don't know what to do with this big feeling that's inside of me. So, we're going to talk about a couple of ways that we can help our kids regulate and how we can model that at home. A couple of simple, developmentally appropriate strategies that we can use. The first one is modeling calm even when it's hard. So, kids typically learn more from what we show them than what we tell them. So when you are having a big feeling in the moment, instead of screaming, instead of sending kids to their room, you might model calm by literally just saying, I'm feeling frustrated right now, so I'm going to take a deep breath, and demonstrating what that looks like. You can say, I need a minute to calm down so my body can think after they dump all of their dinner on the floor. This teaches children that calming down is a skill, not a punishment. The next thing you can do is name the feeling for them. When kids don't have the words, you can lend them yours. This might look like telling a kiddo, you look really disappointed, or you seem frustrated because the directions changed here. Naming the feeling helps a child's brain move from a reaction into a problem-solving mode. And we know that that helps them de-escalate a lot quicker. Creating a calm down plan in your home can be a really big game changer. Giving kids tools for when their emotions feel too big. This plan might include taking deep breaths, could include counting to 10, getting a drink of water, finding a calm down spot in the house, or asking for a break. I know a lot of families who have used small cards that they've clipped together into almost a little bit of a book that they can pull out and use when they need it. We know kids do really well with visuals. Sometimes when they're in that escalated zone, they can't stop and pause and try and recall what works for them. So having a visual works really well. This one's pretty important. So validating before correcting behavior, because we know a child who feels understood is going to be calm much faster. So we call this connect, then correct. So for example, game ends, your kid throws the remote control across the room. You can say something like, I see you're upset because the game ended. That's hard. Let's take a minute together. And then once they're calm, then address the behavior. Absolutely, there's going to be a logical consequence after that. But first, if we can connect with the child and understand where they're coming from, and then do a behavior correction, you're going to have better outcomes. When children are in a heightened state of emotions, we need to keep our instructions short during those big feelings. When kids are overwhelmed, they cannot process long explanations. Their brains cannot handle it. So instead of saying, you need to stop yelling, this isn't how we behave, I've told you 100 times, go to your room, we can try just saying, take a breath with me, or pause, or let's go to our calm down spot and talk this through. Because short, calm cues are what's going to work best in this moment. When to be concerned. So a lot of parents have reached out to me and shared some stories about what they're seeing at home, shared some stories about what they're hearing from the classroom. It's normal for kids to have meltdowns, especially after school, before school, or during transitions. But it might be time to reach out to myself or the pediatrician if we are having strong emotional reactions that happen several times throughout the day. if your child can't recover without extreme support, if these emotions are interfering with school, friendships, or their sleep schedule. And then if you just feel overwhelmed and you're unsure, I'm here to help. I'm here to connect you with some resources and make sure that your child is doing the best that they can. Just to close this off, I would say emotional regulation isn't something that kids master overnight. It's something that they learn bit by bit through practice and patience. For adults, it's also going to take practice and patience. When you model calm, when you connect before correcting, when you teach these simple tools, you are helping your child build skills that will last them a lifetime. I appreciate you partnering with us here at Quarterfield and supporting your child's growth. If you have questions or want additional resources, please feel free to reach out to the school, and I'm always here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next Parent Academy. Bye.